Okay, so I just talked to the group coming on that we have to deal with little irritations, and then I included myself in those irritations. So we're going to get going. We're going to go some 3 specific things to start doing for backs and hips to get moving. You could do these through the day, and it will just help you. Okay, here we go. And I'm going to hit the arms today. Definitely hit the arms. But we're going to do it our way. How's that? I'm going to go ahead and put my gloves on. Okay. And I'm going to start with one of the first moves that you can do to help your back warm up and your hip and your lower legs and your feet. So what is that? Well, when you got up this morning, for instance, you had to walk, right? To get around, to do whatever, to get your gin and raisins going, to get your, whatever you had to do to get your drink. You did this, see? But let's start with a backward motion that's safe. So how do we make it safe? We put a pole right here and we tap back. Do you see that? The minute you do, you're anchored right here, or you're anchored with your chair. Either or, I don't care. So just put your hands here, and you're standing here, and you're going to tap back. Do you see that? Tap back. Okay, so you've walked around. Now we're going to go back, and we're going to just tap, and we're going to roll. We're going to tap, and we're going to roll. See that? I'm going to tap. So I'm going to ask you, when you're doing this motion, one of the things that will help support a delicate back is bracing. Okay? You don't even think of it. So my guess is many of you did this, and you did this, and you even rolled into your heel. But until I said that, bracing, you didn't think too much about it. So I'm telling you, as you're walking around through the day, especially if you have a delicate back, if you have a delicate hip, if you have a delicate whatever. So see, I'm doing this repeatedly. And so somebody might say, well, how many of those do I do? You can either do it by time, do it for 30 seconds to a minute, or you can do it by repetitions. Again, a couple of sets of 10. And you count to one end. See that? So as I'm doing this now, I'm bracing and I'm dropping my shoulders. I'm keeping my chin tucked. And now I'm going to start moving my head from side to side. And I'm going to brace again. So if I came into your room right now, the first thing I would do is put my hands on your shoulder. So I'd step to the side as you did this. And I would just tap on your shoulders. And then I just poke you right here. Because I want to feel that there's some tension in the tummy muscles right there. As if I were going to punch you. I wouldn't punch you. Maybe. I know, Kathy, I know. Okay, take a breath. Drop your shoulders. Now step back a little further and really roll into the heel. Now we're going to start to hold it. So drop your shoulders, tight tummy, bracing, roll and hold. And this leg is straight now. Now come up, take a big breath through your nose. Drop your shoulders. Really stretch back. Yeah. Put the heel down. Okay, brace, brace, brace. Drop the shoulders. Come back. Now start moving that head. So step way back, look over your shoulder, come back. Big breath through the nose. Drop the shoulders. Push down. Pretty hard. Push down on the back of that chair. And step that leg back and roll into the heel until you feel a stretch coming up through those heel cords. And here's what I want you to notice. I did not stop and hold on the stretch where my heel is all the way down until I had done a number of just tapping. So you're just tapping and rolling, tapping and rolling, tapping and rolling, turning my head. Pretend I'm poking you right here in the side of your tummy. Okay, that's bracing. Bracing. So it's not just pulling your belly button in. It's bracing. Okay, so I did a whole bunch of these. And then we went all the way back, push down, keep my chin tucked. I can turn my head if I want to, but I'm really stretching. Okay, so yeah, I might spend anywhere from 1 to 3 minutes, maybe 4, on the stepping backs. It's an extend back. You see when I do that, it opens all of this, which contributes to back tightening up. So anytime I do this and I push those hips forward and I extend that hip backwards, that's why I love to start moving with a back toe tap, okay? And then I took it on into Achilles and foot, addressing those tight heel cords. And I'm gonna tap to the side and I'm gonna come back in. I always have my chair here. So as I tap to the side, see that? See, I'm just gonna tap down and come back in. So it's side to side tapping. My guess is when you got up, keep going, side to side tapping as I'm talking. Sometimes I get on a roll. I can feel Kathy rolling her eyes. I understand. Anyway, when you do your side tapping, you are doing a move that you didn't normally do. Just schlepping through your morning, getting out of bed. It was forward, maybe even some back turning, but not this, okay? So side tapping is a really good thing to do for a minute. Okay, that might be 3 sets of 10. You see, I'm just kind of tapping here. I don't want you to grip that. And every time I tap to the side, what am I doing with my knee and my hip? What am I doing? I'm taking big breaths through the nose. I'm doing a single leg press, hip hinge, and then see as I come back up, I press up. So I'm doing a lot of single leg pressing, but it's gentle. You could do this every 30 minutes, all day today. And guess what? At the end of the day, you will have done 1,000 maybe of these kind of single leg tapping. And you see when I do it, not holding on to anything, what else am I doing? A lot of balance challenge. And at some point, if you choose not to hang on to your chair for a few taps, you're going to either over or under balance, and you're going to find yourself grabbing something. Yes, that's what I want. Then you start to really think, oh, I overshot that. See this? Single leg tapping, but it's a side leg, single leg press every time. See that? Take a big breath. Tight, meaning braced, but breathing through the nose. And now I'm going to start to turn that head again. Okay, now I'm gonna just add an arm. I'm gonna just tap. Okay, so these little simple moves are moving joints that need synovial fluid in them. They don't get it unless you move through it. But see, everybody doesn't want to waste time with these little easy, simple moves. They want to go bowling, or they want to go play pickleball, or they want to do big things, but they didn't do these things. And then they wonder why they're sidelined. Okay, so these things really add up. Number one, to helping joint health. But number two, big time, it addresses metabolic issues. How do you metabolize? How do you help your muscles contract to burn through all that sugar, the glucose that everybody's talking about, screaming and yelling about? Oh, go take medication. Well, do you think this right here would be in your scope of being able to do some of these moves? Yeah, and if you did it every 20 to 30 minutes through the day, at least once an hour, I would rather have you twice an hour. How many do you think we've done now? A minute or two? Probably. Okay, so now I'm going to do my last and my three. So what did we start with? We're doing toe tapping. I did back toe tapping, and then I did elongated toe tapping, rolling in, holding. Then I did side tapping, and then I added the arms, right? Tandem stance. So you need to make sure that you've got a chair next to you or a pole, okay? And so when you get into that tandem stance, and a tandem stance is not just like standing like this. This is a split stance. A tandem stance is you're totally in line, okay? Your toe could touch the heel of the other foot, okay? So now I'm gonna come like this. I'm gonna go like this, and I'm gonna arm swing. And I'm gonna stand in my tandem stance. Now, when I first start to tandem stance, I'm gonna get pretty narrow, right? But I'm not going to touch the heel quite yet, okay, of the front leg. Big breath. So I'm gonna stand here for just a second. See how I'm wobbling back where I'm trying to get my bearings? Yeah, that's what we want. Bend those knees, okay? Yeah, I'm gonna say rib cage up, drop my shoulders, take a big breath through the nose, okay? Now all I want you to do is both hands are gonna come forward, okay? Thumbs are up, both hands are gonna go back, okay? Don't go fast. Stay right down in your stance. See, I've lowered my center of gravity, but I'm maintaining the tandem stance is the point, okay? Take a big breath. Keep your arms real straight. Take a big breath. Okay, one more move, and then we're gonna switch our feet. Whoop, you're gonna move. Just grab your chair. Now, turn the thumbs down. Okay, drop your shoulders. Bring those hands down and back as far as you can. Now, right now, this is for K. When those hands go back and the thumbs are pointing up, and you're trying to put the backs of your palms, the back of your hands together, keep dropping your shoulders. Then you're going to come through, keep the thumbs down, and back. And when you come back, drop the shoulders and pull them in. And I'm maintaining a tandem stance. Then shake out, bring that leg up, and we're going to do the other side. So I'll turn this away, okay? So remember, I didn't go even yet to the hardest position, right? They're about a foot apart. okay? But they're right behind each other. That's a tandem. Okay, so bend the knee. The knees are soft, they're bent just a little. Say rib cage up, breathing. Got my chair, so all I have to do is put my hand on it if I start getting wonky, okay? And you'll get wonky, that's okay. Now just very carefully take a breath. Bring those hands forward, thumbs are up. Shoulders are down, right. Bring them back. Keep your stance. Okay, right here, pull the shoulders down and in. And then we're gonna come back. Okay, big breath. Thumbs are up. I'm gonna come back down. Okay, get ready. Turn the thumbs down. Drop your shoulders. Okay, this is Kay's move. Pull your shoulders in and down. And you're maintaining that tandem stance. I know it. It's just much harder than it looks. And if you put a few cases of a delicate back, knees and joints and hips joints replaced, shoulder issues, yeah, you're gonna have to fight for your balance. Lower your center of gravity. The first thing you do is lower your center of gravity. Don't just grab. Lower your center of gravity and then find your target. Then come back. Take a big deep breath, shake out, and stand back. Yay! Okay, now walk. I know. Walking, just gentle walking and pattern walking will help to release all that tension buildup that we worked to do. Yeah, we worked to do. Okay, here's my chair. Here's my little it's just a little over 2 inch deep. Okay, I'm going to do a lot of shoulder work today. Okie dokie. I'm going to start with a bar. So now I've already done my tandem stance, correct? Now I'm going to do a split stance, okay? So come back and do a split stance. What's a split stance? It's just you take a stride. And when you take a normal walking stride, unlike the tandem, you have some space in between the feet there. Okay, that's just a normal walking stride. Now I'm going to take my little bar and I'm going to mimic a lot of the stuff that we're going to do today. My palms are down. Okay, I'm going to bring it right here and then I'm going to come up. And you know what I would be doing if I were doing this with you? I would be watching what position your hands are, what position is your wrists, and now what position is the wrist in relationship to the shoulder joint. Then if I come down, I can come right to here. So it's right across the clavicle. And then I just graze my nose and come up. Okay? So when I get fully extended overhead, I want my bicep to be right at my ear. See? See? Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Okay, come back. Take a big deep breath. I had you holding in a split stance for a reason. Okay, number one, it's a normal functional move. It's just like taking a step. Okay, I didn't do any bending of the knee. But in this kind of a situation, you've got to really think about how you're balancing. You got to think about, is my ankle in a right position? Is my heel down? Is my heel lifted? Am I on my solid feet, all four corners? And then what am I going to do with this bar? Pretend this bar was 10 pounds, okay? Drop your shoulders, take a big breath. So my wrists are not broken, See, they're in neutral. This is neutral. This is not neutral. Okay. So many times when I put somebody in this position, they're like this. Okay. So we don't want to do that. So you want to lay that bar right in that V between the thumb and the finger there. See that? Now, second most important thing right now is, besides your shoulders being down so that your scapula, your shoulder blades are in the back, is bracing. You've got to brace. So really brace and keep breathing. See, I'm going to go up, 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 up. And when I get all the way up, get those shoulder blades down. And if I came into your room, I would see if my bicep was right here pointing at my ear. That's what I'm looking for. Okay? If that's not possible because of rounded shoulders, because of structural issues with, for instance, scoliosis, that type of thing, and it's just totally impossible for you to breathe here in this position, then we have to take a different tact. Because my goal is for you to be able to, in fact, tighten your tummy, drop your shoulders, come up, graze that nose, come up to the head, and just hold it right there. Because it's, as soon as you leave from here, see, you're not able to, if you're not able to bring those shoulders back, then I can't load you. I have to do totally different things until you can get a little better range. I hope this is making sense to you. Number one, gotta brace. That's number one. Number two, bring that bar on top of your head and keep your wrists in neutral. And just hang here for just a second and bring the shoulders down and the shoulder blades in. That may be enough to push you, okay? I would, if I were with you right now and you were having a hard time reaching this kind of position, then I would put you up against the wall and I would have you get your hands against the wall and you're moving up the wall so that they can lean on something, so to speak. See that? But for those of you who this is going good, you can do this. It's all the way up, and it's all the way down, and then it's down to here, and the elbows are right here. Okay, so I have to get that kind of range before I can put anything in an overhead position. So reaching, I would also probably have you reach with one hand versus the other hand. So let's do that just a little bit. All of this is some very essential. There's a whole bunch of different moves you can do for shoulders. And when you're training your shoulders, you're not just training your shoulders. You're training all your upper back core area. The core is from right here at your under your armpit to your hip. But what you do with all that trains these muscles that control that. It trains these muscles. It trains these muscles. So let's do that. Let's go to that tandem stance and let's do up and back. Okay. Now, when I went up here and back, some of you did this. You went up, forward, and then when you did back, you did this. And you didn't even realize you were doing it. So I'm telling you, don't do that. Just don't do that. Oh my goodness. What a beautiful day it's going to be today. Hot. It's going to get hot these days, but that's what we waited for, right? So now, do you see what I just did? I switched my lead leg. That's what I did. So I want you to pretend I just came into the room and I asked you to go forward, right there, and I asked you to go back. And what I want you to do is drop those shoulders and pull those shoulder blades together, okay? So it's an up and it's a back. Take a big breath, take a big breath. And then I would take and I would go one hand up and then one hand up. So you're alternating, okay? So we're not only going to just go one hand up, we're going to go to the toe, okay? So all of these are in preparatory for the rest of some of the things we're going to do today. So I'm going to do this, and I'm going to just tap my toe. See that? So I'm going to go up and tap. I'm going to go up and tap. So now it's going to be quite smooth. See this? So when you do this swing, this weight transfer, this fully extending your arm up, fully extending your arm back, you're keeping your shoulders down, you're breathing through the nose, you are doing, for just a split second, single leg stances with your arm fully extended overhead, okay? And whenever I say fully extended overhead, when you get to full extension, ask yourself, can my ear touch my bicep? See that? That's what I'm looking for. If I don't get that, if it's out here and it's fully extended, you fully extended it, but it's here, it's not here, then I have limited motion, okay? All right, after we've done that, let's stand wide. Big breath. Let's help that shoulder issue, okay? So I'm going to come hip hinge. I'm going to say rib cage up. And I'm going to do a fly. I'm going to do a full extension fly, okay? When I put and we're going to do this one with very light weight. So I'm going to use like a 3 pound. Okay, so I'm here. I'm going to sit back a little. Why do I want to get you in this position? Because I want to use gravity as a weight component. So I'm going to go push back. I'm going to keep chin tucked. And I'm going to get as parallel as I can, my upper body to the floor. See that? So I'm putting great tension and great contraction through my back and through my gluteals and through my hamstrings and my quads just by doing this. Then I'm going to go like this. And I'm not going to do it fast. Palms are down. But when I come to here, I want to really squeeze my shoulder blades in. And I got to keep my shoulders down. Okay? I could say down. I know you're supposed to say down. I'm supposed to make that kind of a, instead of down. I know it. Anyway, I regress. Okay, here we go. Boom. It's like you're flying. Yeah. And here's the thing. Some of you are going to go, well, when are we going to pick up the dang weights? And I'm like, when you show me that you can really activate the muscles to move your shoulder blade, okay? That's what I'm looking for. Now, if you have some real shoulder dysfunction, A, get a proper diagnosis. B, make sure what moves exacerbates or bothers you. Don't keep doing a move that's bothering you. And I can hear some of you say, well, all these moves bother me, Jeannie. And then I would say, well, that's a whole different topic. Because some of these are going to bother you because of our lack of flexibility and our lack of strength in these very targeted areas that I'm working with you today on, okay? So stay with me. The arms are pretty straight. Keeping my shoulders down, knees are soft. When I come here, I'm gonna really pull those shoulder blades in, and then I'm gonna work to get several repetitions. So if I can maintain this kind of positioning to change my angle, to use gravity to be part of my weights, then I'm going to do as many as I can. Okay? Okay, come back up. You should have started feeling that right back through here and some other places. Yay, that's what I want. But you don't do it so much that you're like, I don't want to ever do that again. That's the whole point. Because you got to do it again. Because if you don't build up your endurance. And the key is you've got to build up endurance. All right. We're going to go way down. We're going to start with very light, almost none. So it won't have any bars. If you've got these from me, no bars. It's 3 pounds, and I usually use 6 pounds. I just want to show you how to get some great benefit through your whole body, especially your core, especially shoulders with light weight. So you got to start there, okay? So here I am. I'm gonna work myself back to where we started. Then I'm gonna come back to this level. And we are gonna end, as I go back through what we just did, we're gonna end with a fly. I won't do it right now. Some of you have wonky shoulders, all right? You just do. Okay, we're gonna start with single leg lifts. So I'm gonna bring the weights right here, okay? And I'm gonna take one hand up. I wanna make sure I'm not gonna hit my fan. I'm gonna go one hand up. Let me go back here so I don't hit my fan. I got an overhead fan. A lot of times when you're exercising, the only thing you need to have is a fan on you. You don't want to get overheated, and all you need is a little breeze. Okay, so I'm back here. My knees are just soft, they're not bent. Tight tummy, both arms are up. Okay, see the weights are right here at my ears. See that? Now I'm going to take one hand up, and I'm going to see if I can touch my ear to my bicep. So I know I'm in the right position. And see, if I was back here, that's too far. But if I'm here and I'm full extension, but my ear won't touch my bicep, then I have to be very careful with exercises up over the head. I didn't say don't do them unless there's some contraindication of why not. We got to progressively get stronger in an overhead arm situation, okay? And a lot of that is stepping back and finding out, that's called assessment. Let's find out how you move, okay? I would do all of these steps just to see what is your shoulder function. See that? Okay? Now we're doing one at a time. I understand, I'm doing it very light. So I'm gonna come up here. My knees are soft and I'm braced. My wrists are neutral. The weights are right here in my ear. And I'm gonna go up and I'm gonna ask myself, will my bicep touch my ear? Yes. Take a big breath through your nose. Here we go. Make sure at this point that your elbows are not flaring back, okay? They are pointing down. Okay, there's that word again. I know I'm supposed to say down. Ah, that's not how I say it down south. Here we go. Right there. See that? Yeah. And if you have a tricky shoulder, guess what? You need to spend some time with very light weights, maybe no weight, and in a push up over your head. And you see, I'm engaging my whole body right now because I have a soft knee. I have rib cages that are lifting. I have shoulders that are down, okay? And I'm going all the way up over the head. And my little tricky shoulder, which is this one, I feel it there. It's not a bad feeling. It's just I know I'm weaker there, okay? So I have to back off, use light weight, make sure your knees are soft, rib cage up, drop your shoulders, big breath, drop your shoulders, big breath, drop your shoulders, breath, drop your shoulders, okay? Now how's that feeling? Pretty good? So same stance, but I'm gonna just drop now. So we're doing a little recovery, okay? This should feel really good with somebody with back issues, delicate back. See, I don't push it. My knees are soft, my rib cage is up, my shoulders are down. And then what I try to do is act like I'm putting my armpit down toward my hip bone right here. That's all I want to do. And then I'm going to come up. I'm very braced, okay? And we've discussed bracing, right? Bracing is different than pulling in and just hollowing out your lower abdomen, okay? So I'm just going to go and drop my armpit to my hip bone, armpit to my hip bone, armpit to my hip bone, just like that, just like that, just like that. Just a little, it's a little recovery, okay? So here I am with my weights. My knees are soft. I'm gonna pivot. I'm gonna do a full body move because we've stood here like this for a bit, right? So let me encourage you that if you think that you or I am doing nothing by standing here with some weights and doing some of these motions, you need to think again. Because if you're lined up and if you're maintaining a standing up position and you can do little moves, to kind of keep yourself, the blood flowing. What are the little moves I'm talking about? See this? I'm lifting my toes. Yeah, or turn, just turn. See, you can turn. Now I was doing a pivot and a turn. I'm gonna do a pivot and a turn. Tight tummy, pivot and a turn. Okay, so if I came into your room right now, I would have you pivoting and I would look at your shoulder in relationship to your hip. So I'm not leaning, I'm turning and I'm punching. See that? And I'm punching with the whole shoulder girdle. I'm not using my back and my back muscles only in stability. See this? Punch, shoulders have to be down. Punch, shoulders have to be down. Punch, punch. See that? Yeah. Don't lean out of the column. Here's the column. It's created by your ears, your shoulders, your hips, and your feet. That's the column. If you let yourself go out of the column, you are asking to strain your back there, okay? So this turn is very functional. Now, pretend something with me. Hopefully you have a very light weight. I'm very light, only 3 pounds. When I turn and I go to punch, see, I have to stay in the column. I have to totally stay in the column. Push and come back. I don't know what that was. Push and come back. And push and come back. Now pretend with me that these are now 10 pounds. Yeah. Now we're going to go up in weight. Some of you may not go up that high. But when you turn and you go to punch, your shoulders need to be down, okay? So that's why I want you to practice working with your muscle, the whole muscle and the whole shoulder girdle, not just your arm. Because if that's how we injure ourselves. We go and hit with racket sports, with baseball, with so many things because we don't learn to use our muscles correctly. The whole musculature. Boom. Instead of bringing all your stronger muscles in and then you move wrong and then you hurt your back. Okay. So after I've done that, now I'm going to take both of these. Let's say you're doing good. Let's say you can go ahead and move. And let's say you are not quite where you can push up without reaching out with your arms. See, that's not what I really want to do right now. So I want these back here. And if that's not possible, then don't go all the way up, okay? Because you would be doing that, and that would be straining, especially if you put weight on your hands, okay? So bring them right back here to your ears. Take a big breath, soften your knees, drop your shoulders, push, and the minute it starts gravitating forward, you need to stop. And you need to drop your shoulders and pull your shoulders together, and then come back down from there, okay? So, see, if I were with you as a trainer, I would be watching all this, but you've got to watch it. So if I'm cleared to be able to put my hands up over my head like that, with a little weight, I'm going to stay very light, and I'm going to stop the lift. The minute I start to gravitate forward, I'm going to stop and pull the shoulders down and back. See, I said it correctly that time. I had to think about it, just like you have to think about this. So pull those shoulders together and go up, and just see how far up you can go without going forward with those hands. See? And then come back down and come back down. All right, take a big deep breath. Now I'm going to put these down. I'm going to go to the next weight, which is a 6. Okie dokie, okie dokie. So now I'm going to come here, turn, and just go like that. And turn my hand just like that, and then come back down. And come back down. See that? I'm only doing one arm at a time. And I might have you do a split stance. Okay? Bend those knees. Yeah. Drop your shoulders. Yeah. So I'm going to pull, and then I'm only going to take one and do the other one. I'm going to bring it up, all the way up, and then all the way back down and come back down. And then I'm going to go pull. I'm going to go all the way up and all the way back down. So I'm going to ask myself, how'd that feel? Did I feel a pinch anywhere? Did I feel like something was going to go out if I kept moving? Okay, so here we go. Pull. I'm going to push. I'm going to go all the way up, turn, and then come back down. See that little turn at the top? So I only do that with light weights. Pull. I'm going to go all the way up if I can. If I can, I'm going to go all the way up. What am I going to do if I can't go all the way up without a noticeable leaning out? What I'm going to do, I'm going to stop right there, come back down, okay, especially if I added weight. So change your forward, the foot that's forward up on this one. So here we go, pull, turn, and I'm going to carefully, I'm not going fast, I'm going to go way up, okay, and then come back down, and then come back down, and come back down, okay, pull, way up, take a big deep breath. So I've got a stretch coming up the back of my leg from the heel, because my heel's down, okay, my knees are soft, My rib cage is up. Big breath, pull. And then I'm slowly going to approach that full extension way up there. That full extension right there. And then pull and pump, come back down. Okay, now I'm going to do it with the one hand. Up, turn, and down. Up, turn, and down. Up, turn, and down. So it's not fast, but it's fully up. And when you get to the top, what's the test? Is my bicep at my ear? And if you are not passing that test, then you have to stop where you start going forward. So you have to drop your shoulder and hold on there and sneak it up there as best as you can. And I would put you up, back you into a wall. And I would have you lean back as the wall supports your arm going up in the right position. Okay, so I switched my front leg. I'm gonna do a few more here and then we're ready to go on up. So here I go. Push, bring it back down. Big breath. All the way up and back down. Okay, now I'm going to come over here. The next weight. What would that be? For me, it's 9. For you, you might be 6 right now because maybe you did that first part with no weight. Okay, that'd be all right. So before we get started on this, we're going to do our fold. Okay, so here I am, just in a normal stance, like I'm standing waiting for something. Okay, and some of you cannot go all the way down. So you know what you need to do? You need to stand in front of that chair right there. And you are going to go until you're going to sit down. And then you're going to come back. Okay? The pad is on the chair. And so no matter what's going on, this is one of the moves that you're desperate to keep being able to be in control of. So I have weights. I have extra weights. So I'm just going to hip hinge. Instead of doing a full fold, I'm going to go down where I'm touching there, and then I'm going to come back. I'm going to pay attention that I have equal pressure on both feet. Now, if you can go further, then you're going to go with me. If not, you're going to use the chair as your target. And you're going to go down to the chair. I'm going to drop my chin. I'm going to fold. I'm going to put those down. I'm going to hold right there. I'm going to go 1, 2, push into the heels. Push into the heels. Breath, 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 and come up. I know it. So this is where you have to really get your butt pushing back. Okay, so I'm right here. I'm going to push those butt cheeks back. Keep my chin tucked. And again, I'm going to use the chair as my target if I know I have problems going lower. I'm going to get down as far as I can, and then I'm going to push into the heels. Breath, 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 and come back up. Yeah. So, in your little program through the day of trying to help your metabolic picture, you could take seriously 1 to 3 of any of these moves that I'm doing and do it for 1 minute. Then do another one for another minute, or do all 3 in 1 minute and then all 3 in another minute. Just figure out which one it is. And you know what I just forgot to do? On the 3-pounder, I think. No, on the 6-pounder, I didn't do my fly. And here's where I want to make sure I tell you that if you have shoulder issues and you see somebody at the gym or somebody doing flies, I don't care if it's with a pulley or whatever, you better be super careful because this is where when you get up into heavier weights, you don't lock your elbow, okay? You bend the elbow and pull your shoulder blades in. So I'm just bending forward. I'm going as far as I can. I'm gonna pull my shoulder blades in. And I may come up here and hold it for a second. I want to keep my shoulder blades in and down. Take a breath. Pull my shoulder blades in and down. Take a breath. Pull my shoulder blades in. Take a breath. Pull my shoulder blades in. Take a breath. Ooh. Breath. One more. Then I'm going to do my split stance. And I'm going to take one arm. And I'm going to look past my toe. See, I'm leaning out past my toe. My chin is tucked. And I'm going to go push. Push. I'm pushing that arm back. Breath. Drop your shoulder. Drop your shoulder. Big breath. Drop your shoulder. Drop your shoulder. Drop your shoulder. 3 more. Here we go. Push. Here we go. Push. Here we go. Push. And come back. Step back. Woo. Now see, I'm going to hang on to this. If you wanted to, you could put it down. That'd be okay. But I'm trying to load you gently in this move. Step forward with the other leg. So here's my push arm right here. It's going to be back. So on the arm that's going to go, it's going to start back here. So already, see, what you need to notice is in order for me to hold my hand here while I look out over my toe, is I have to have tension. I have to have contraction through my shoulder blade. So I'm right here, gonna be bent. I'm gonna go push, but I'm gonna hold on to it right here. Push, breath, push, breath, push, breath, breath, push, breath, go, breath, push, keep your shoulder down, keep your shoulder down, keep your shoulder down, keep your shoulder down, breath, yes, and then come back. Nice. All right, drop those shoulders. Come right here and put them on my knees. Step out, okay? So I'm right here. I'm gonna press. I'm gonna pull right into my solar plexus, okay? Right, like you're trying to put it under your armpit. See that? Drop your shoulders. So bend, everything bends together. Just like dominoes, okay? So it's a pull. And I have a 9 pound, it's not that heavy. Pull. Come back, drop your shoulders, push your butt back. Duh. Breath. Go. Breath. Go. Breath. Now hold it there. Bring your arms out. Pull. And then pull. Come up, squeeze your butt. Come down. Pull. And then pull. Squeeze your butt. So one pull bent. All the way right there. And then all the way up. And then pull. And then all the way up. Big breath. Here we go. Pull. Then pull. Okay, get ready because we're going to go up here. Pull. And then pull. Now turn. Okay, get ready. Loosen your hands. Your fingers, I mean. Drop your shoulders. Soften your knees. Go just to above the ears. And then come down. So, you want to make sure that you can get those above the ears and your elbows are pointing out on either side. Not in front, not in back, not down. Take a breath. And most of you are being able to come right up to above the ears. Don't go up any higher. If you are wondering, okay, loosen your knees. They're soft. Ribcage up, shoulders down. Exhale. Go up as far as you feel you can. And then come back down. Slowly. Here we go. Breath. Don't go up if you don't pass that bicep to ear move, right? You're just going to stay right here. You can still build a lot of strength right to here. Very careful if you're going to take it all the way up. Take a big breath. Here we go. Big breath. All the way up. Tight tummy. Braced, braced, braced. Exhale. Just one more, come on. We got it, we got it. And come down. And come down. Nice. Now, I'm gonna move it all the way up. I'm gonna take the whole rack. So I've got 18 and 18. You go up 1 or just keep it at 9. Whatever. We're gonna do a carry. Okay, so what you can do with a full rack of weights is you can just let them hang off your fingertips, tighten your tummy, you're braced, and you're going to do what we started with. Drop your shoulders, tap back. Yeah, so you're maintaining, drop your shoulder and tap back. Drop your shoulder, tap back. Breath. This takes a lot of air. You're going to start having that. You're going to feel like you're out of breath. I'm like, well, breathe. Take a big breath. Exhale. So I'm maintaining. Okay, now when I come up to full stance, I'm going to bring my shoulders to my ears with this very heavy weight. Shoulders to ears. Breath. Shoulders to ears. Then I'm going to go a little wider. I'm going to go into my toe box and just press. So I'm pressing my body weight plus, plus. Yeah, almost 40 pounds. Not quite. See? Just try to do that little heel lift. Okay, now shoulders to ears, shoulders to ears. So that's the shoulder blade. See? That's why these are such good moves to do with weight. And we want to get to where we can do 3 sets 10 at least. So pull those shoulders to the ears. If you get tired, just hold on here. Let it hang from your fingers. Do your heel lifts. Brace. Take a breath. Shoulders to ears. Shoulders to ears. Shoulders to ears. Shoulders to ears. I know it. Okay, I'm gonna go over here. The rack. They're all the way up. Open my hands. Swinging my arms forward and back. And then in, giving yourself a hug. And when you give yourself a hug, bring your shoulders up. Then drop them while you're giving yourself a big hug. And then you open them. Okay? Open them way back. Way back there. Take a big deep breath. Keep your chin tucked. And then come all the way up. And see if you have freer movement through your shoulders. Yeah, as you reach above the head. So this ability to use your whole upper body, front and back, and your arms are involved in getting you stronger in your arms. I hope that made sense to all of y'all. Okay, here we go. Recording stopped.